You put every sentient being in there. If you just pull out one person out, there's no way to get this fully right. Because this is something about truth, not about your ego. So I'm now looking for the main points here. So in order to achieve this kind of bodhicitta, then if you really want this kind of bodhicitta, then you have to focus on the great compassion. So in compassion we talk about before going into path of enlightenment, you need this. Right now we do have this compassion. It's like a seed. Then in the time of doing practice, and let's say you reach some kind of level of the paths of, not a bhumi, but then we call it part of accumulation, right? So let's say we reach this level, but still we need the great compassion as to like do watering. If you do, you put the seed there and you forget to water that plant, then there's no way that it will grow. So you need to water it every time. And then third, once you are got fully enlightenment without a great compassion, you will never teach sentient beings. You will never give guidance to others. Even you do, it's limited. So then if you want to limitlessly benefit, then you need to have a special ability to go there and benefit, right? And you need different manifestation. So then like His Holiness, then maybe Mother Teresa, and then all these great beings. So it's really, we should be aware of talking gossip, maybe negative gossip, say something bad about the great human beings. Who knows, he is the one of the manifestation of Buddha himself. So we should be aware of this. Maybe your friend, he might come in this kind of form, right? So Bodhisattva's prayer is something like, of course, in the benefit of the teaching them the fully enlightenment, if I can help this sentient being as a bee, you know bee, right? Bee like honey. So if I can help this and make a connection with him, may I born in a bee and then benefit this person. So he wants to make connection. Why? He wants to give you the full enlightenment and to show you the right path. This kind of prayer, we should do that too, right? So let's forget about past and future life. Maybe if it exists or not exist, but then this prayer is very strong. Like, whomever I encounter with, I make connection. Sometimes bad connection, good connection, sometimes so-so one. But then already making connection that I want to teach him about getting out of fully enlightenment. There might be some contribution there in our karma. So this is the great way of practice of Bodhisattva. So we stop here, and I will continue that, and we can do some discussion right now, right? Yeah.
So we have now a discussion, 45 minutes. Again, it's okay to ask questions, to ask questions. but it's always also okay to discuss among ourselves, express our opinion, response to a question. We'll just mention a few topics. We've covered so much. So just a few topics that we've covered yesterday and today. We talked about renunciation. What do we want to renounce? In the evening, Liorala guided us through meditation about suffering, the 3 types of suffering. How do we relate to that? Do we understand suffering? And then today, the 3rd scope, which its motivation is to attain enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings. In order to do that, Rinpoche kindly explained us what emptiness is, according to the high schools, philosophical schools, and bodhicitta that we want to attain, to develop, for all loving kindness, compassion, great compassion for all sentient beings. So,
also possible to ask something from yesterday?
Of course, please do. But, okay, so there's one question. If you want Rinpoche or all of us are invited to say what we feel about the point.
I want to continue a question about, you said how to prepare to death before we go to sleep. You said that before death the mind is very subtle, mm-hmm. and also attachment arise. Mm-hmm. And we all asked how to prepare for that, and you said we should, before we go to sleep, we should calm the mind. Mm. Now, I have a question because, usually before I go to sleep, I start the prayers of tomorrow, to make a continuation. Mm-hmm. What would be a better, and I said, what do I do? Should I start the prayers? Because it's good time and I have time to focus, and usually I fall asleep at some point, and or to try and clear the mind and just deep.
Yeah, so it's quite related to what I just said about the compassion and the bodhicitta. So one time what happened was the first Dalai Lama, great practitioner, so lots of students, very intelligent students. So one time the first Dalai Lama in his maybe now 70s, and he's the one disciple of Lama Tsongkhapa. So his students asked him, you're a great practitioner and now you have achieved bodhicitta and you know emptiness directly. So now for you, when you passed away, for you it's very easy that you can go to the Pure Land. So then, with a very serious face, the first Dalai Lama said to his students, I do lots of prayers and practices, but I have never prayed that may I reborn in a Pure Land. My prayer is something like, wherever there is a benefit in sentient beings, may I born there. Now, this is a great teaching, very related to your question. So mostly, why before dying, why we worry so much or too much? Because you will think you are so attached with all your maybe you are retired, you don't have any job anymore. And no, don't need to worry about salaries. But you have earned so much money, you might have quite a big amount in bank, and then you might have a very beautiful children and a very good wife. So now you are not ready. Even you have to make decision, but you are not decided or ready. But then in a paper you have to write, this is for my wife, this is my child, but you are not ready yet. For sure you are not ready yet, I'm sure of this. This is, I told you yesterday one story about my friend saying about he's ready but he's not ready, and that's why he's crying a lot. He's saying and thinking is different, right? So now if you really value and you are not attached to only this life family, then you feel the whole universe, all the sentient beings as your family. Why to afraid that you are going to meet your, like a parents again, and you are going to meeting with your very familiar families or from your past life? Why need to worry? That will surely calm your mind now, I think. I'm not finished yet. So now if you, through this, you are choosing sort of a prayer rather than attachment. So I told you all about yesterday. Attachment and then prayer, sometimes it looks like it is working in the same thing, but in one in the negative side and one in the very positive. So now this is where how one method it is. But then other method is, if person is not familiar with great compassion and then bodhicitta, but then if he is confident about what he has done in this life, about the 10 virtuous actions especially, then at the end he should do strong dedication. That's why every the course we end at the evening we do dedication, right? So same thing. So it's when you might not say, because it's the second scope I'm talking about now, who is going to pass away. Then that practitioner is something like, now rest of the life I did just nothing big to worry about, because the cause I have done in this life, they're all positive. Now the result will be positive. But then he should be very aware of his past life. He has done so many things, and he has so many possibilities that if something clicks wrong, and then he might turn something in the wrong. This is the attachment here. If here he's attached to something very strongly, then this kind of strong influence might end up in lower round. Even in this life he has done nothing much wrong. So you are giving this kind of task to the attachment. So attachment really does not know where to attach. It is something like, what will happen to me, right? Then it will take you to somewhere that me is important. Then whenever you came in any form, you are important every time, but in a not good situation. So now bringing this kind of practice is very good, because we have something similar to something practice, because the death and going to sleep is really similar. So you have to practice this kind of thing every day. Even you finish you should finish your commitments for sure, but then don't leave it very late, because every time when you go to work and then come to home, and you feel very tired, you do it, then you just fall asleep. This is not way to bring the control practice, right? So mostly finish it in morning or in the evening or afternoon, but before going to bed, strong meditation. Strong meditation. Nothing to attach on. So then once you go to sleep, you have nothing to attach. So then you think about your guru, and then the possibility you will receive some teachings. I experienced that. That's not something unique. I'm sure it happened to most of you. So sometimes we get some good answers through the dream. Something amazing, right? Yeah, so same thing. So once you, in the next rebirth, you will meet with the wonderful teachers and teachings. So it's because you have the cause and the result is there, right? So any other question or discussion?
Something else. Okay.
Maybe some people, it's a discussion, right? So please, if you have something to add on, please do it.
I'm new to Buddhism.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to understand about suffering.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, it seems to me that I understand that the Buddha way is to end suffering. That's the
Mhm.
main goal. But there are different kinds of suffering.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm feeling good with myself and happy, when I'm sitting in nature, beautiful, then maybe I'm not suffering at that point. I'm feeling good, but then you say you should quiet the mind, not just when you're suffering, but also when you're feeling
Yeah.
good. So it's like, in a way, I feel it's encouraging more suffering.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If I'm feeling good, then it's not good enough because I have to think of compassion. I have to think there are a lot of other people that are suffering in this world right now. This is what I'm thinking about. And not understanding, confusing me.
Yeah. So,
We discussed it
Yeah.
in the evening. We had meditation about it, so maybe someone else.
Maybe to express what I think about it is I understand, if I understood well what you said, is not that we want to suffer, and the state of mind that enjoys something should not be stopped. The only thing is to put it in the right perception. Like, it's very nice to sit here in front of the nature, and how nice it is that I have the karma to enjoy it. I know that it is not the solution for a stable happiness. And I know that other people are suffering and that they don't have the time or the karma to sit in front of nature and enjoy. May everybody enjoy nature as I do. Like, it's as if to enlarge my perspective and not to just indulge in this nice feeling that I have. This is how I understand it.
yeah, very good.
So I have a further question from your point and Leon's point, further thinking and question about it. I'm trying to, I want to know suffering, the first noble truth. And I can understand and I want to get rid of the suffering, no problem, we all understand it. But my question is about the second type of suffering of change, which is what you talked about. Everything that I experience as pleasure. And I don't want to give it up. I want it. This is what is the temporary happiness I have in this life. This is what I know. My comfortable life. I try to increase it even more. And I try to change it, the understanding, to see, to be grateful for my great karma, and to think about others, maybe not at the same time, but whenever I think about it, to try to do it. But I feel that in order to really see, I know the reasoning why it's suffering. It's not the reliable happiness. It's not the bliss we're learning. But I feel, and this is the question, that at the moment, maybe it's wrong, but I feel that I cannot fully understand the suffering of change. Maybe because I have no clue, I have no idea what it means to have this bliss, this reliable happiness that is lasting forever and not temporary. I know that the chocolate cake will give me pain if I eat too much, and I know that after one or two pieces I'll fed up and I'll throw up and I'll be sick, and I know it's not reliable, but I still want it. You know, the third. And the partnership and the bank account and the comfortable house, everything that gives us pleasure. I need it at the moment. What are the tools? How do we deeper or increase our understanding, not just by words, but practically understanding that this is suffering? I have no idea how to do it. I use what you did. These are the tools we have. It's, I think, very important to be grateful for the karma and to think about others and not indulge. Yes, we want to indulge in our pleasure.
I think that I'm thinking on top of that, and it comes, at the moment it comes quite natural. When there's something good, maybe, I don't know where it comes from. Something is good, I say, but it's not going to continue. I know that it's temporary. And it comes to some, even if with my grandchildren, that I love so much, and, well, I don't know. Maybe something happened, maybe, I don't know what, I cannot even express in words my fear. But I appreciate this moment of being with them, healthy, they are healthy, or even because I work with sick people, with old people, I see all this suffering again and again, and I say, oh, this body is still okay, comparatively. But I don't know what will happen tomorrow. And I see, really, because I see so much suffering, I know that this nice condition that we have can finish tomorrow. So this helped me. And maybe even if we don't work with all these in these conditions, we can start to look around us and see how much difficulties, and appreciate what we have, and remember that we don't know when it's going to finish.
I also have, regarding what you said, I was thinking about it, when we're in nature and it's sunny and nice and we're feeling okay, or when we eat the example with the cake. So I think so when I think, maybe I'm wrong, when you talk about suffering, it's not the suffering of eating the cake or being in nature, but it's the fact that we need this condition to enjoy, right? What implies from I'm enjoying when I'm in nature is when I'm back home at work, I'm not enjoying. This is the good time and this is not. So the fact that we need condition, if the conditions come together, we enjoy, and if not, then we're like a yo-yo. I think this is, that's what they mean the suffering. Not the point when you're sitting in nature in a nice river or something, but the fact that later and before that, it wasn't fun or happy because the situation was different. So the fact that we need conditions to enjoy, we don't have a state of mind that can just be peaceful. Maybe that.
Good point. A very fine discussion here, right? Very good. So maybe, can I say something? Before, when I don't take care much about my health, then I drink milk. Then I drank, I ate chocolate, so many. So then one day what happened is having some stomach problem. My doctor said, you can't eat anymore, you can't drink any more milk now. So then I listened to him, and then I checked, and it is really hard on me. So I can't have milk anymore. So it is very easy, okay, because I don't like milk. But then when it comes to like sweet, like cake, I like cake a lot. And then all the varieties of cake, and you look at it, I just don't need to eat it, I just look at it, stare at it, and enjoy this beautiful designs or all these things. But then when my the situation of my stomach worse, and then one of the doctors said, you should avoid sweet. That's a big problem. So then I experienced that if I take too much sweet, then it gives me a problem. But I'm not ready, because this is pleasure, I believe. I want this happiness from that. I'm not ready. I'm still not ready. But when I put this in my brain, saying, okay, you want to live more, or you need the sweet, then I felt like, of course I want to live more, stay longer life, healthier life. Then I just made a middle way approach. Just make like, okay, I'm going to eat this chocolate, and maybe today I will eat whole chocolate, but maybe this morning I will just have a tiny piece of it. Just say this. And I try to trick my mind, saying that I will finish it, then I will just eat just one small piece of it. So now I did this kind of practice for a long time. Now when I look at something sweet cake, I love the design only, but then now I have a strong feeling that now this is not going into my mouth. It's much easier. So like that, for samsaric pleasure, why we put samsaric pleasure? I remember that saying to you, it is just a condition only. This is nothing to do with suffering actually. But then we don't know when it's too much and to leave this, right? So if you are so attached to someone or something, and then it breaks, it goes sickness, and it dies, we are not ready to accept this. This is something to do with not ready to let it go, because you feel this is it, without this how to live on, right? So we narrow down everything with this called attachment. So I'm not thinking while eating pita and the hummus, you don't need to think, oh, too much attachment. This is maybe too much. And if I go down there to the best restaurant in Israel and looking for the pita, and then it's famous for this hummus, and then I go there, and then restaurant says, sorry, we don't have it more. Then you came all the way from Navasharam to here. You drive it for this kind of pleasure. And if you're a good practitioner, you won't start blaming the restaurant. Right? And you will say, okay, it's okay. I just come here for, if you don't have, you run out of it. Yeah, it happens. So you're cool. Nothing to be angry about.